So this is the final part to the Sarah and Jon saga, and I'm going to show you to make an easy, amazing sheet pan pizza that I make for my family all the time. They love it. You're gonna love it too. Here we go. I've got 1 teaspoon of sugar going in a large bowl, 300 milliliters or 1 1/3 cup of warm water. Give that a little mix. This is what I have here at home, just instant yeast, 1 pack. Shake that on top. I'm gonna give that just a little swirl and let that set for about 5 to 10 minutes. I'm gonna weigh out 390 grams of, you could use all-purpose flour. This is what I'm using. Essentially, it's like 3 cups of all-purpose flour, but I'm weighing it to give you a more accurate recipe. So 390 grams. Okay, I'm gonna take just a little, well, say like 1 or 2 tablespoons of cooking oil, olive oil. Now add your flour. Here I got a teaspoon of salt, and give everything a mix. This is water, cold water, and some cooking oil. Dip your hands. The best part about this pizza dough is that it's no knead. Give it a mix, and I just use wet oiled hands to sort of flip, combine, fold over. I'm not technically kneading it, I just want it to come together. Then just cover it in cling film, let it proof and rest for 2 hours, and it's ready. We're going to oil the bowl really well. Now, if you want a more traditional or restaurant quality style pizza dough, use less oil. You definitely want to knead, and you want to proof for minimum 24 hours in the fridge. Take it out, let it proof again, knead it, rest it, and then work it into a circular pizza disc for the dough. But this is my easier method for sheet pan pizza. I'm going to use a store-bought can of pizza sauce, and I just doctor it up and simmer it. Here I'll be using sliced black olives. That's optional. Put whatever you want on your pizza. I'm also going to be using mushrooms, bell pepper, red onion, and tomatoes in place of pepperoni because this is a garden-style supreme pizza. This is a family favorite, and it's a great way if you just want to sort of go meatless and have an alternative to a meat lover's pizza. For the tomatoes, I thinly sliced them, and I put them on paper towels to draw out the moisture. I will season with some Italian seasoning blend and salt. This will help remove the moisture, season them, make them aromatic, fragrant, keep the texture, and it's less moisture on your pizza when you go to bake it. And just thinly slice everything. And for the pizza sauce, I'm going to simmer this gently in a pan, and like I said, I like to add a little bit of salt, Italian herb blend, and sugar. And now I'm just waiting on my dough to proof. Even though some might find Jon's lonchera secret trivial, as he never cheated, Sarah found it to reveal a deeper meaning. She realized that if it was just him not liking the lunch and throwing it away and buying lunch because he just didn't like it and he was trying to spare her feelings, then it was something that she could have easily reconciled with after having a conversation and moving on. But what Jon did, she felt, was way past that. Not only did he throw the lunch away in such a wasteful manner, he made light of it and created an entire secret social media account to make light of it, make a joke about it, garner views, a following, one semi-viral, if not viral by today's standards video. And from what she figured, he was not going to tell her. He was probably going to just keep this up until who knows how long. So when she discovered it, he was very apologetic. He took down the account, tried to talk it out with her. She expressed how she felt. He apologized again, and eventually, after a few days, things died down. They sort of both moved on. Well, Jon at least did, but it still slightly gnawed at Sarah. So after a few weeks, Sarah internally decided to just move on and focus on her relationship goals with Jon. Okay, sheet pan pizza or granny style pizza. I'm going to generously oil this with some good olive oil. You'll need an 11 by 17 or 12 by 18 sheet pan. And here is my dough. I actually threw it in the fridge because I had things to do earlier. So this has been proofing in the fridge for like 4 hours. I took it out on the counter 20 minutes ago, but it's still kind of cold. So just oiled hands, I'm going to press this to the edges of the sheet pan. And if it starts to snap back, all you have to do is kind of pull, and you see how it sort of shrinks back? That's okay. You can cover this and let it rest until you can pull it a little bit more. But see how I didn't need to knead this and it passes the window pane test? That's what makes it so easy. So I'm going to cover this up, let it rest, and then here I have my finished pizza sauce. You see how it kind of creates a line? It's done. It's thickened and a lot of the moisture has evaporated. And here are my tomatoes. Just pat those dry. And now it's time to truly build this delicious sheet pan pizza. By the way, I am working with 12 ounces of low moisture mozzarella cheese. Use the cheese that you prefer. And here are all my sliced veggies, and the pizza dough should be ready. And I'm just going to gently lift, pull, and get it to the edges of the sheet pan. And just sort of press it. And I know a lot of you are like, oh, you proofed it. You're removing the air. That's okay. I want it to be flat. And I have a pizza stone already preheating in the oven. I'm going to preheat my oven to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. And here I'm just going to take a fork and I'm just going to poke holes. I really want this to lay flat and cook crispy, and poking little holes on the dough helps that. So now I'm going to add cheese all the way to the edge. And it's just a light sprinkling. And then I'm just going to add little dollops and splashes of this pizza sauce. You can spread it, that also works. Now some more cheese. And now I'm just going to start building with all the thinly sliced vegetables. The tomato, the onion, the bell pepper, the mushrooms, and just build it how you like it. Top it, add meat if you want. This is what we love. And also, a lot of you that are just making this in your home regular oven, a lot of them won't go up past 500 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you bake this at 475 degrees Fahrenheit, it's going to take about 20 to 25 minutes. It just depends on the calibration of your oven. So one day, months later, Sarah got off work early and decided she was just going to pick up lunch, pick up something extra, and go drop it off to Jon at the construction site, and maybe just have a chat with him, sit in their car, have a quick lunch. It was rare that she got days off early, so she wanted to just make the most of it. So while she was driving, she quickly called Jon, and he didn't pick up. So when she was sitting in the drive-thru, she sent him a text saying, hey, I got off work early. How about let's have lunch together? So now she has lunch in tow and she's on her way to the construction site. But shortly after she arrives, what she sees next is a shock that she was not prepared for. Okay, after 20 to 23 minutes, the pizza's ready. I probably could have let it go a little bit longer, but everyone is hungry. But this pizza, I kid you not, if you like supreme pizza and you're looking for an alternative that's just slightly healthier, I mean, give this one a try. It really is our favorite. And I love the crusty edges. And hopefully, if you did things right, the pizza doesn't stick to the sheet pan. Sometimes I do have it stick, but today, success. Okay, back to Sarah and what shocked her. She no longer sees a busy job site. She sees a complete, built-out restaurant, thriving and open for business. And what snapped her out of her shock was her phone rang. It was Jon. Sarah immediately locks in. She keeps her calm. She answers the phone. And right away, she just says, hey, I'm running late. I'm in the drive-thru now. Of course, that is a lie. But at this point, she's thinking, he's clearly lying. Who knows how long this job has been complete? Who even knows where he's at this point? So she wants to see what he's going to say. And before she can even finish, Jon cuts her off and quickly says, I actually had an early lunch and me and the crew are super busy. We have to finish this if we're going to get off on time today. Sarah's heart drops in the pit of her stomach. It was clear Jon was lying once again. She ended the call happily and went about her day. But in that moment, something clicked. She saw the writing on the wall, and the future she sought would not include Jon. She didn't even care why he lied about his construction job being over. In her moment of shock, she thought maybe he wasn't working at all. Maybe he was wasting the day away. Whatever his excuse, reason, or truth of the matter was, she didn't care to hear it. The only thing she did know to be true was that he had proven once again that he lied. Sarah hated the thought of a future where his lies would progress to a bigger and more burdensome situation. And later that evening, Jon shows up with takeout, just like he said on the phone. And they sit down to have dinner, and Sarah is on autopilot at this point. They have dinner chit-chat. She's smiling. He's chatting away. She's pretending to actively listen. And as they ate and talked about their day, Sarah just sort of zones out. Sarah just reflected on her own untruths in the relationship. And as she's looking at her pizza, she snaps out of it and she tells Jon, "I hate olives on pizza." Jon just sits quiet and looks confused, and she continues to say that she only pretended to like olives on supreme pizza because he did. But in actuality, she's never liked them. Jon, still lost on where she's going with this, just brushes it off and says, "Oh, okay, well, I won't put olives next time. I won't put it on the pizza order." And then Sarah sort of chuckles inward to herself, and she says it's not about the olives. But she goes on to explain that they should be able to just live comfortably in their truths, that she doesn't like olives and he doesn't like her packed lunches. Then at this point, Jon is just rolling his eyes and he's like, "This again?" And she's like, "Exactly. Yes, this again." And she's not saying that as a gotcha moment. It's actually an epiphany, because it's the same feeling she got when she showed up to a construction site that didn't exist. There was an actual finished restaurant open for business. And she explained that to him. That's the same feeling she got when he lied to her. And she didn't want to feel that anymore. And Sarah basically said he must have had his reasons, but she doesn't care to know them. She's going to move out and she's moving on. You see, Sarah was past the point of feeling betrayed. She was tired. It was just a conclusion to her feelings that this relationship was not going to work. Sarah wanted a relationship with trust, the comfort of honest communication, and a common goal. And after a lengthy emotional conversation, she and Jon decided it was best that they take a break. So Sarah let him believe that eventually this would help them reconcile. But she saw first what Jon would eventually figure out. They were not compatible. And even though the relationship did not work out, it did give them both a valuable lesson. They both agreed that even the fun interest that brought them together was not enough to build a foundation for marriage and the responsibility to eventually have a family together. So this is the end of the Sarah and Jon saga. A lot of you have commented in my other videos that you do like this format. Now, I'm not going to completely change this channel to just storytime and cooking, because I do understand that I built this channel on in detail how-to recipes. But the truth here on that is that how-to videos on YouTube right now, especially with all the YouTube changes, is not really reaching audiences. It doesn't grab the attention of a wider range of my subscribers at all. And a lot of you have commented that these videos with the story time kind of brought you back to my channel when you subscribed years ago. And some of you said this is the first time you've seen me in years. So I appreciate that, but it's very telling on where content creation should go for this channel. So right now I am still going to be doing budget-friendly recipes. I may even do sort of like a gardening vlog and touch up on points of what made me decide to start gardening, because by the way, I do not have a green thumb, so I'm learning. And a lot of you resonated with the video that I talk about things that I'm quietly stocking up because of possible food chain supply disruptions and all of those things. So I may do videos every now and again touching on those things, but for now, I'm definitely going to still be cooking in my kitchen. And if you like the story time, I'll try to do it once a week. And maybe I won't separate the story time in different parts. I'll just do a long video and tell you a story while I cook a delicious meal that my family's going to eat. So there we go. So I think the biggest takeaway from the saga of Sarah and Jon is that compatibility is not about the things that you can tolerate. about each other in a relationship. It's about what you can trust. Thank you all for tuning in for this story of Sarah and Jon. I love to tell stories, and this particular story is one that I came up with, but I guarantee you there is somebody that's going to watch this video and say, oh, I know a couple that did that. Oh, I know someone that did that, because it's probably a very common tale that actually happened in life. Okay, that's the video. Check out the description below for the ingredient list for the pizza, the grandma style sheet pan pizza that I made in this video. It's lighter, fresher, and it's less processed. So there's that if you want to give it a try. Okay, that's the video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.